Good day, folks. Thank you for joining us here at Your Health. On today's program, we'd like to talk about phosphatidylserine. That's a big word, isn't it? Well, this substance, phosphatidylserine, has big effects on your health. Something you should know about helps to maintain mentation. Interesting program today. We've never talked about phosphatidylserine, but today we'd like to introduce this to you because it has tremendous health benefits that I know many of you would like to take care of. That's our program for today, phosphatidylserine. But first, let's go to our news. Let's see what's happening in the health world. Proton pump inhibiting antacid medication increases the risk of osteoporosis and bone fracture. New research from the Forsyth Institute explains why. Some 100 million Americans use over-the-counter or prescription antacids to treat heartburn and indigestion. The medications are the third most popular medication class, accounting for over $14 billion in annual sales. The researchers from the Forsyth Institute found stomach acid plays a critical role in releasing calcium from food. Stomach acid also plays a role in both the absorption of calcium into the bloodstream and then its deposition into bone. Suppressing stomach acid inhibits these processes, resulting in increased bone fracture risk. Folks, in 2010, the FDA issued a proclamation requiring that all proton pump inhibitors, or PPIs as they're often called, these medications must be sold with a package insert that warns consumers of PPI's propensity to thin bones and increase the risk of bone fractures. Now, recent studies have found that PPIs can increase the risk of bone fracture by up to 50%. So this means that our current rate of osteoporosis-related bone fractures of about 1.5 million per year would increase to about 2 million fractures, based on the possibility of all those taking PPIs long-term. That's potentially 500,000 extra bone fractures a year just because of these well-intended heartburn medications. It should also be pointed out that PPIs do not cause thin bones when they are only used occasionally for heartburn, but rather when used for long periods of time, typically greater than 10 to 12 months. Reports like this one that point out the dangers of taking long-term PPIs rarely, if ever, provide alternative therapies. So, for the majority, heartburn is a symptom of poor bowel regularity, overeating, weight gain, and intestinal dysbiosis. Correct these problems, and the majority will not need PPIs. The majority of foods consumed by Americans are highly processed. Researchers from the Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology asked over 150,000 households to record every food item bought from a grocery store over a period of at least 1 year. In the study, families used barcode readers to record their food purchases. The researchers then analyzed food choices. They found the study subjects consumed 62% of their calories from highly processed foods. The study defined highly processed foods as those that contain multi-ingredient, industrially formulated mixtures. Examples of highly processed foods include soda, cookies and candy bars, white bread, chips, and prepared meals using processed ingredients. The study was reported at Science Daily. This is amazing, isn't it? Over 60% of the foods consumed by Americans are highly processed and refined with added preservatives, coloring agents, flavor enhancers, and of course, added sugar, salt, and fat. Is there any wonder America is overweight and chronically sick? How could we possibly be healthy eating this way? Well, folks, if we don't change how we eat, it will lead to a drive to pass food laws. And I don't think any of us really want to be told how or what to eat. Now, many have asked, why don't American food companies make healthier foods for us? To this question, the food producers always respond, because America does not want, nor will they buy healthy foods. We make the kind of foods they want, and we're here to make a profit. Well, this is not really about changing food companies' practices with laws. It's about changing how we, the people, perceive food and subsequently the types of foods we buy and eat. And I believe we can only do this through education. Eating green leafy vegetables helps to preserve mental abilities with age. Researchers from the Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology followed over 950 seniors' dietary and lifestyle practices for 5 years. They found the seniors that regularly ate spinach, kale, collards, or mustard greens showed improved mentation with aging. The typical greens-eating senior showed the mental ability of someone 11 years younger. The study was reported at Science Daily. Well, this one's useful, isn't it? Eat your greens and keep your mental abilities sharp. Doing so can shave 11 years off your mental age, and that is truly remarkable. The study also analyzed the nutrients responsible for dietary greens' mentation preserving effect. They found it is green leafy vegetables lutein, folate, beta-carotene, and vitamin K that is responsible for preserving brain function with age. Now, by the way, it should be mentioned that this is the first study to find vitamin K plays a role in preserving mental abilities. Folks, our previous study found that over 60% of the foods consumed by Americans are highly processed. This type of dietary pattern is most certainly playing a role in our obesity epidemic and the degenerative diseases suffered by Americans. This study provides us with clear evidence that eating foods direct from the garden, and in this case, leafy vegetables, helps to prevent disease. Well, the choice is yours. Eating healthy provides what no drug, surgery, or doctor can, the basic ingredients for good health and longevity. Well, today on Your Health, we'd like to discuss phosphatidylserine's role in preserving mentation and good health. Stay tuned to learn more.
Do you believe that nature holds the answer to your health needs? Are you looking for a supplement that's simple and pure, yet really works?
If you're looking for nature's answer to better health, look to Aloha Noni Juice. It's pure and fresh, just like nature intended. Aloha Noni Juice is brought to you direct from the islands of Polynesia.
Aloha Noni Juice is 100% pure with no added sugar or sweet fruit fillers. It's the perfect addition to your low-sugar diet.
Aloha Noni Juice drinkers will tell you their vitality, energy, and sense of well-being have improved, along with relief from many painful conditions. Made by nature, proven by science, Aloha Noni Juice contains only nature's best.
And now you can enjoy the benefits of our new 100% certified organic Noni Juice.
Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings.
I'm Dr. Richard Becker, and this is Your Health at a Glance. Are you sleepy during the day? Many Americans are in a sleep crisis. They aren't getting a good night's sleep, so they suffer from daytime sleepiness. The reason may surprise you. You may be deficient in vitamin D. According to recent research, vitamin D deficiency leads to poor sleep quality. If you aren't sleeping well at night, you are sleepy during the day. Vitamin D and the hormone melatonin are critical to our sleep cycles. Both are tied to sunlight. This is one of the many reasons why working night shift hours can be so hard on the body. So, if you're finding yourself nodding off during the day, before you turn to another cup of coffee, try some of the sunshine vitamin and see how vitamin D can help you get a good night's sleep. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Dr. Richard Becker. Different people have different vitamin and mineral needs. That's why Dr. Becker's BioNutrients multiple vitamin and mineral powders come in 4 different blends.
That's right. When it comes to vitamins, no one formula is right for everyone. For those who don't get enough vegetables in their diet, there's the Organic Green Blend with 3 servings of vegetables in every tablespoon.
And for those looking for a boost of fruit and berry phytonutrients, there's the Berry Blend with 3 servings of fruit in every tablespoon.
And don't forget the Active Adult Blend with extra B vitamins, calcium, and added cofactors like ginkgo and CoQ10.
Plus, we've designed a multiple for those with allergies called the Low Allergy Rice Blend.
Whatever your unique needs are, BioNutrients has a multiple vitamin that's just right for you.
Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health.
Welcome back and good day, everyone. We will be taking your calls today, so pick up that phone. We want to talk to you. Dial 800-635-2673.
Well, while we're waiting for you to call in, we have a great show for you. We're going to be doing a nutrient spotlight on this really interesting little nutrient called phosphatidylserine. I know that's a mouthful, but it's quite interesting. So Richard, tell us, I believe this is what they call a phospholipid.
You have that exactly
Now,
right.
you know what? I'd much rather say phospholipid than phosphatidylserine.
Well, I know, these are big words, but there's big benefit to this type of supplement, and we should all know a little something about that. As you mentioned, Cindy, phosphatidylserine is a phospholipid, and these substances are important because they make up our cell membranes. You know, plants have cell walls, animals, humans have cell membranes, and of course a plant is a tree is very stiff and hard and rigid. That doesn't work for us humans. We need soft, flexible, pliable cell membranes, and we can owe this in great part due to these phospholipids. These substances are also arranged in such a way that it keeps us water-based creatures, yet we don't dissolve in the shower. If you think about that, we're water-based, but we can scrub and get in water and we still stay intact. Well, these molecules have a polar, a water-loving end, and then a non-polar or a fat or lipid-loving end. And they are arranged in such a way to create a membrane that creates a barrier and allows us to have all the benefits of these cells. Now, just so that we say these words and everybody's heard them, because this is not a mysterious thing, but they are big words. The phospholipids include phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylethanolamine, phosphatidylinositol, sphingomyelin, and of course, our subject today, phosphatidylserine. Now, these phospholipids, that group of large named substances we just talked about, they can be on the outer layer of the cell wall. It's a bilayer. It can be on the outer layer or the inner layer. But phosphatidylserine is only found on the inner layer. Okay? There is one exception to this. When the cellular mechanisms go awry, such as occurs with cancer, the phosphatidylserine will switch and it'll go to the outside layer, and that signals the immune system to destroy that cell and get rid of that cancerous growth. So it plays a very important role in cell signaling. The perception of abnormal workings inside the cell to be communicated with the outside of the cell and vice versa. See, this is very important. So if the external media for the cell is awry, it sends a message into the cell through phosphatidylserine to change things, for the nucleus to make more proteins and whatever it has to do to compensate and correct the problem. Okay? Now, phosphatidylserine was first extracted from lipids found in the brains of animals, and they call them cephalins. To have cephalgia is a headache, right? Cephalgia is a headache. To be cephalad is toward the head. So cephalins are lipids found in the brain. Makes sense? The phosphatidylethanolamine, phosphatidylserine are the two major cephalins along with glycolipids. Now, we've done all the hard stuff now. The rest is the benefits. But now you've heard these terms. They're not nearly as elusive as people think they are. Phosphatidylserine is made of glycerin. We've all heard of that. Glycerin, that's a common ingredient in soaps, right? Isn't it? Glycerin. Phosphate, we've heard of phosphates before. Fatty acids like DHA or EPA from fish oil. And L-serine, the amino acid. So phosphatidylserine, glycerin, phosphate, 2 fatty acids, and L-serine. Well, what do they do? What does this molecule do in our physiology? First, it carries fatty acids from the stomach. Let's say we have some salmon. Well, a phosphatidylserine molecule will join that salmon DHA and EPA, take it to the liver, take it on into the brain, and deposit it into the brain tissues where the DHA and EPA does its work to help prevent dementia and other conditions. Also, it can take it to the heart and whatever organ it needs, but most of phosphatidylserine's benefits come to the brain, so we're going to focus on that today. And as we mentioned before, it makes up the inner lining of the cell membranes, and it can switch if the cell is abnormal and needs to be destroyed. We don't want cancer to grow. And it supports the dendritic spine density. Now, what does that mean? In the nerve cell, we have the axon, the long tube of the nerve. Just imagine my forearm is that axon. And then we have another axon over here, and the two nerves communicate through dendrites. They're like little fingers. And when the nerve impulse goes down one nerve to the dendrite and it transfers it over to the next, this is a thought process. This is a metabolic induced process. Maybe it's a hormone stimulating process, or maybe it's a memory, whatever, all the brain does. And it does this through the dendrites. So the phosphatidylserine helps to maintain normal anatomy of brain cells, brain and nerve cells. And it does it through the connections. We've had neurologists and brain specialists on this program help us to understand that wisdom, the wisdom of aging, is connections in the brain. You've had that experience before. You know what's going to happen. Culture calls that wisdom. This is what we call in medicine dendritic connections. You've got connections in your brain. You've had experiences. Phosphatidylserine helps to maintain your wisdom, your brain connections, and your knowledge. Does that make sense? Because this is the essence of phosphatidylserine. What else does it do? It carries out the signal transduction, the communication process of cells. It promotes and stores the production and release of neurotransmitters. This is how the two dendrites communicate. The release of a neurotransmitter, it's picked up on the other one, it propagates the signal. I just had a thought. I just remembered something. See, that's how it works. It helps to do that. It helps to release acetylcholine via the activation of protein kinase enzyme. The point is that the researchers know exactly how it works. Acetylcholine deprivation, or low levels of acetylcholine, is associated with Alzheimer's disease. And so here we have one of the major benefits of phosphatidylserine is maintaining acetylcholine levels in Alzheimer's disease or in the dementia, pre-dementia state. It supports normal brain and nerve function, helps to maintain normal nerve cell anatomy, structure, and the dendritic function, and it plays a role in our hormonal processes. Most, but not all of our hormonal processes begin in the brain. You know, our reproductive cycles, this type of thing. It all starts up here in the pituitary and hypothalamus, and it's transmitted down to the adrenal glands. And this is all based in, you know, in essentially proper nerve function. So one of the major benefits of phosphatidylserine is its ability to help relieve stress and over-exercise. Exercise to the point of exhaustion. It helps to normalize the cortisol response to stress and physical exhaustion. Phosphatidylserine can do all of that. Well, let's talk quickly about phosphatidylserine's many uses. It supports normal physiology, protects the brain from insult and other organs as well. It slows cognitive decline associated with aging. This is all through double-blind studies, which we'll talk about in a minute. Improves memory even in young people. Now, this is astounding to me. To have something that helps the aged maintain their memory, that's remarkable. But the ability to even improve memory in young people, that's astounding to me. It protects from depression associated with stress and illness. This is one of the reasons why so many Americans take antidepressants today. They have an ongoing medical condition, and we all know when we're sick, we get the blues. This is very common. Well, phosphatidylserine helps to protect from the depression associated with chronic health decline. You know, it helps to maintain a good attitude. That's remarkable. That's worth attention, just that attribute alone. It improves attention and decreases restlessness in attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, something the kids can use. Helps to normalize the pituitary hypothalamic adrenal function in exercise and chronic stress. And it may play a supportive role in the neurodegenerative diseases such as ALS, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and others. What's our primary source of phosphatidylserine? Meat and fish. Very little is found in fruits and vegetables. So if we're on a vegetarian diet, you're not getting much. There are two exceptions. Soy lecithin contains phosphatidylserine, and white beans. Now, let's go to our break here. But when we return, let's talk about the current science on phosphatidylserine. We'll be right back. Is your life out of balance? It may be. The average American consumes far too many omega-6s and not enough omega-3s. This creates an imbalance.
So what can we do to get back in balance? We can eat a healthy diet.
And most of us need to supplement with omega-3 rich fish oil. Fish oil contains omega-3s with DHA and EPA, fatty acids that promote good brain and heart health. So reduce omega-6 in your nutritional plan and boost omega-3 to get back in balance.
To help you do that, BioInnovations offers two products, the Fish Oil Complex and Omega 369, both formulated for your health and well-being. So how do you choose? For highest levels of DHA and EPA, choose the Fish Oil Complex. For a balanced formula, choose the 369. Go online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings.
I'm Dr. Richard Becker, and this is Your Health at a Glance. Could some of your favorite foods be making you sick? Cases of non-allergic food intolerance are on the rise. This is different than food allergies. Recent surveys reveal up to 20% of us may be suffering from food intolerance. People who have a higher risk of non-allergic food sensitivity are those with other types of allergies, such as hay fever, or irritable bowel syndrome, hepatitis C, chronic indigestion, abdominal pain, or constipation. Non-allergic food intolerance can be delayed up to 48 hours or longer, so you may not connect something you ate 2 days ago with fatigue, headaches, abdominal pain, or depression. You can keep a food diary and write down everything you eat. Blood tests can diagnose the problem, or an elimination diet can help you detect the foods that are causing your symptoms. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Dr. Richard Becker. There are thousands of fungal species, and at least 200 of them have been found to cause human diseases.
Fungal infections are common, so what can we do to protect ourselves?
One solution is oregano, a natural alternative. Oregano fights problems created by fungus and yeast overgrowth, and it improves many other health conditions.
At BioInnovations, we offer oregano in gel caps and liquid extract.
Yeast and fungal disorders can improve.
So take charge of your health by choosing a natural alternative such as oregano gel caps or oil of oregano liquid extract. Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. That number's 888-442-2128. We're back, everyone, talking about phosphatidylserine and how this amazing phospholipid can really help you improve your health. Okay, so Richard, we were talking about sources that you can get it in. It doesn't sound like it's very plentiful in much, really.
Well, it's not found in a diverse section of foods, but meats of all types, fish, chicken, all fowl, and all the red meats, anything with the cell membrane, is going to have considerable phospholipids in it. And one of the exceptions for the plant kingdom is soy. Soy lecithin is a major player in the phospholipid category, and it has phosphatidylserine. Now, many of us are trying to avoid genetically modified soybeans.
Right.
And that is completely understandable, and I agree with you. We have to be careful with these genetically modified foods. So if let's say you're a vegetarian and you're trying to avoid GMO soy lecithin, what else is there? Well, white beans, but who wants to eat white beans every day? So we can see, especially, now let's consider also the loss of appetite associated with aging, loss of appetite associated with health conditions, with medications. There are a lot of reasons why we lose our appetite and not eat so much. It's easy to develop deficiencies in phosphatidylserine and the other phospholipids rather quickly in situations like this. So in comes supplementation. We can extract this out of appropriate sources or non-genetically modified organisms and concentrate the phosphatidylserine and use it to our benefit.
Okay, I have a quick question before we get into the science on this, since we've covered this so well here.
Is this one of those nutrients that's present in us at all, or we are only dependent on outside sources? So where I'm headed with that question is that something where your levels decline as you age?
Yes, it is. That's very good. We normally can make this. We can normally, it's not an essential nutrient, but it becomes conditionally essential with age and health conditions and dietary restrictions, this, that, and the other. Okay? So, and also this is another good point. We mentioned all those phospholipids, you know, the phosphatidylcholine, the phosphatidylethanolamine. There's a principle in chemistry, it's called base exchange. Our body can take those different ones and swap them around and create new ones from different ones. Okay, now I don't want to bore you all with chemistry, but our body is a remarkable thing. It can do amazing things, and the more you study it, the more profoundly in awe you are of God's creation. Let's just be truthful about this. We know who's responsible for all this, and it's simply amazing. But you need some form of these phospholipids so your body can exchange them. One of the most important roles that these phospholipids do is carry the omega-3s to the organs. It's a carrier molecule, and then it gets incorporated into the cell membrane so the cells can work properly. It's a critical player in good health. Okay? Now, what happens when we supplement phosphatidylserine? Here's a double-blind placebo-controlled study from dementia, gerontology, and cognitive disorders. A double-blind placebo-controlled gold standard evidence, as they call it. 157 subjects. These were all elderly without dementia. Elderly folks over 65 generally is considered elderly. Some say 80. They're older people. No dementia. The phosphatidylserine improved verbal recall, both immediate and delayed. Verbal recall was improved both right away and delayed a few minutes. And it reduced the time to copy complex figures. That was the exact finding of the study. Next, in the journal Aging, double-blind, placebo-controlled, 425 elderly subjects with moderate to severe cognitive decline. Dementia was already setting in. Phosphatidylserine improved behavior, improved cognition, and it did so without any side effects. This is quite remarkable. The Journal of Clinical Biochemistry and Nutrition, double-blind, placebo-controlled, 78 elderly Japanese with cognitive impairment. We're starting to see senility set in this study. Cognitive impairment. They did the study for 6 months, and what they found was phosphatidylserine improved memory and verbal recall. Those with the worst memory were helped the most. That's good news. The worse off you are, the more it helped in this study. And no side effects. No side effects, none. None were reported. A Journal of Human Psychopharmacology, double-blind, placebo-controlled, 28 healthy young adults. This is interesting. They compared phosphatidylserine alone or in combination with ginkgo biloba. The phosphatidylserine combined with ginkgo improved the absorption of ginkgo in both single and long-term dosing. This has been a concern for supplements such as ginkgo, curcumin, resveratrol. How do we absorb these? We don't absorb very much. But when they studied ginkgo combined with phosphatidylserine, the subjects absorbed more. Now, these were young, healthy people. We can't necessarily extrapolate this to elderly people in frail health, but it tells us that the normal human mechanism, when combining phosphatidylserine with ginkgo, it improves the absorption of the ginkgo. And we know of the benefits of ginkgo, don't we? Long-term or short-term, both stayed with improvement. Secondary memory performance improved, improved speed of memory tasks, and improved calmness. These were young, healthy people. This is quite remarkable. Even healthy young people can benefit from phosphatidylserine. How about attention deficit hyperactivity disorder? Journal of Human Nutrition and Diet, double-blind, placebo-controlled, 36 children with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It improves ADHD scores. This is what they found. Improves short-term memory in the kids. It improved attention while decreasing impulsivity, which is very important for the classroom. An impulsive child gets up on a moment's notice, on a whim, and very disruptive to the class. And phosphatidylserine is useful even in children. It's safe to do. European Psychiatry, double-blind placebo-controlled 200 children with ADHD, decreased restlessness and impulsivity, reduced ADHD index scores. So when they test the child, they score better on their ADHD patterns, reduced hyperactivity, reduced impulsiveness and emotional instability. The effect continued in those who chose to continue phosphatidylserine after the study was done. Many of the parents said, I don't know what my child took. Was it the placebo or the active agent? But whatever it was, I want my child to continue taking it. It's helping them. And the researchers noted the pattern was so strong that they kept in touch with these kids, and over time the effect continued from phosphatidylserine. Isn't this remarkable? Exercise and stress, double-blind placebo-controlled combined with caffeine. Most Americans take caffeine. And we're going to tell you the results of when we take phosphatidylserine with caffeine together. Is it a good thing? We'll find out when we return.
Are you one of the 62 million Americans suffering from gastrointestinal problems? Do you struggle with other chronic conditions? That's why we offer Dr. Becker's Bionutrient Probiotics.
After years of research, we developed a revolutionary probiotic formula with gastro-defense technology. This system protects the good bacteria from stomach acid so the probiotics reach the intestines where they go to work. Additionally, we use live count technology to prolong the shelf life of the probiotics, so there's no need for refrigeration.
Dr. Becker's Bionutrient Probiotics is a powerful combination and one of the most effective formulas available today. And we offer a children's chewable formula too, both at prices you can afford. Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. That number's 888-442-2128.
I'm Dr. Richard Becker, and this is Your Health at a Glance. Do you suffer from cramps, gas, bloating, or other digestive troubles? How about fatigue, depression, and headaches? All these symptoms could be caused by a condition called lactose intolerance. Your body doesn't digest lactose, the sugar found in milk and other dairy products. As a result, you can suffer from a wide variety of symptoms. If you often experience digestive problems, fatigue, depression, or headaches following meals, try avoiding dairy for a week or two and see if your symptoms lessen or go away. All of the nutrients found in dairy, including calcium, are present in sufficient amounts in other foods. So if you find that you are lactose intolerant, you can safely avoid dairy and still enjoy complete nutrition. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Dr. Richard Becker. For centuries, the herb Astragalus has been a staple of traditional Chinese medicine. It's used to create a strong shield, protecting the immune system.
Astragalus is also used to support healthy heart and lung function.
There's even more. Astragalus helps to calm total body inflammation, a common cause of pain and chronic illness.
All of that without the use of medication.
That's right. Support your health the way nature intended with Astragalus root.
Bioinnovations brings you Dr. Becker's Bionutrients Astragalus root extract. Bioinnovations is the affordable source that you can trust for all your vitamin and supplement needs. Give us a call at 888-442-2128 or order online at bioinnovations.net and see what Astragalus can do for your health. That number once again is 888-442-2128. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. Call today. We're back, everyone, having quite an interesting discussion on the phospholipid phosphatidylserine. This is quite an interesting nutrient, isn't it? Well, before the break, Richard alluded to the fact that there's a neat study out there that talks about the effect of when you combine phosphatidylserine with caffeine. This is quite interesting. So, Richard, I just hadn't thought about what would happen when you take caffeine, although we all pretty much in America do use caffeine, whether it be tea, coffee, even green tea has a little bit.
It's the most commonly used drug medication compound in the world. And most people do have a little caffeine. Some people have a lot every day. And it is appropriate to study dietary supplements' interaction with caffeine. What happens? Well, this is in nutrition research, double-blind, placebo-controlled, phosphatidylserine combined with caffeine. They were looking on the effects of exercise, stress, and fatigue. You know, caffeine is used by athletes to give them energy to compete. This is common. And some athletes take too much, in fact. So what they did was they found when you combine phosphatidylserine and caffeine, it improved serial 7 subtraction scores. You know, if I start at 100, count backwards by 7, 193, what's the next one? 86, 79, you know, and you go all the way down. Well, see, I paused a little bit. I had to think about that. Well, if I combine phosphatidylserine and caffeine together, I do that quicker, significantly quicker. That gives you mental energy. So most of us are taking the caffeine anyway, so you're going to get a benefit from it adding the phosphatidylserine. This test was done in athletes. It also resulted in more correct answers in less time, while it improved the perception of fatigue after physical exertion. The Journal of International Society of Sports Nutrition, double-blind, placebo-controlled, 10 healthy male subjects, 10 days, 600 milligrams of phosphatidylserine, moderately intense exercise. How does phosphatidylserine help you with that? Well, it improved the mood, stress, and hormone response. It decreased cortisol levels. So this is very interesting. The effect of chronic stress. We talk about adrenal fatigue and adrenal burnout. Phosphatidylserine improves the cell membranes of the adrenal glands so they can function more properly, and in the brain too, because you have that the brain adrenal axis. You know, our bodies communicate and control hormones through this communication network, and the phosphatidylserine helps to improve that. It also improved the physiologic deterioration associated with too much exercise. So, you know, many of us are weekend warriors, right? Our weekly work is at a desk, or it's sedentary, relatively sedentary, and on the weekends we like to do activities. We do yard work, we rake the leaves, shovel snow, this type of thing. So this study helps us to understand a dose of phosphatidylserine will help you ease those discomfort days after intense working that we're not used to. Next one, sports medicine. A review of the research on phosphatidylserine, effects on exercise and its consequences. Phosphatidylserine regulates a variety of neuroendocrine responses to stress and exercise. It helps to release acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter, dopamine, and noradrenaline. All these are neurotransmitters. It improves tissue response to inflammation, acts as a potent antioxidant, especially from the free radical effect of excess iron. Many of our viewers have hemochromatosis, or they have accumulated too much iron in their system, and they're afraid of the damage, and you should be. It can be very damaging. So phosphatidylserine, along with curcumin and alpha-lipoic acid and some other agents, could help to chelate, bind up that iron and minimize its effect on the human body. Now, here's a worthy topic: dietary supplements that complement phosphatidylserine. Now, folks, please write these things down. You know, I've been studying this material for almost 40 years now, and I've learned a few things. I've learned a lot about therapeutic interventions to improve the human condition. Please don't discard them. Many people will say, this is proprietary knowledge, and I'm not telling you. This is intellectual property. I've never taken that attitude. It's my job, it's my role to share this with the world. We can help people with this information. Please write this down. If you are struggling with energy, I can't get up, I can't get going, maybe I have chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, or I'm in a state of cancer recovery and I'm weak and tired a lot, here's what you'd want to take. This is the mitochondrial metabolic support. You'd want your B vitamins, a B complex. You want your vitamins E and K. These are very important. You want alpha-lipoic acid, CoQ10, ginkgo biloba, and NAD and NADH. Now, NAD is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. We're getting into chemistry that's not important, really. It is very important. We can't live without it. But the point I'm trying to make is these substances will help you make energy. B complex, vitamins E and K, alpha-lipoic energy, alpha lipoic acid, CoQ10, ginkgo, and NAD, NADH. That helps you make energy. Next, brain and nerve growth and function support. Let's say you've had a bad concussion. Maybe you're in a motor vehicle accident. Maybe you've had a stroke, or there's early signs of dementia, and you want to know how to regenerate to the best of our abilities nerve tissues and give the brain what it needs to do its many functions. This would include phosphatidylserine, acetyl L-carnitine, we've talked about that, glycerylphosphocholine, and that's a phospholipid. When you take phospholipids, such as phosphatidylserine, you get these glycerylphosphocholine. So it's the phosphatidylserine and the omega-3s. Let me repeat that because that was a little rough. Phosphatidylserine in a complex or a matrix, acetylcarnitine in the omega-3s. That helps to support the brain. Okay? This is something that I think we could all use at various times in our lives and be very helpful. Now, let's go to our break here. We have a little more to discuss on phosphatidylserine. Then I hope we can take a call, at least one today. So let's do that. We'll be back in just a moment, folks. Every day, about 200 million Americans do not get enough of a key essential mineral.
That mineral is magnesium. The typical American diet does not supply enough.
And magnesium is so important. It protects bones and helps more than 300 different enzymes in the human body perform efficiently.
That's why Bioinnovations offers chelated magnesium capsules for oral use and topical magnesium gel to be applied to the skin. That's 2 forms of magnesium to meet your daily needs.
Scientific evidence points to chelation as the best method of vitamin and mineral formulation.
Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health.
Because chances are you are one of the 200 million Americans who need more magnesium every day.
Again, that number is 888-442-2128. Call today. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings.
Here is our hope for you today. I'm Cindy Becker. Christian counselor Dr. Henry Brandt wrote, "To dwell above with the saints we love, that will be grace and glory. But to live below with the saints we know, well, that's another story." Throughout our lives, we encounter difficult people. These souls challenge the best of us. But the Apostle Paul suggested that we maintain our grace in spite of the actions of others. Paul wrote, "If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone." Paul acknowledged it may not be possible in all cases, but we should still do our best. Try to look at difficult people through Christ's eyes. Remember his sacrifice was for everyone, even those saints we know who challenge us. I'm Cindy Becker. This is our hope for you today.
CoQ10 and L-carnitine are among the most important nutrients our bodies use for energy production. Deficiency in these key nutrients can cause serious complications to your health. In fact, statin drugs that are used to lower cholesterol may deplete your CoQ10 levels.
Bioinnovations brings you Dr. Becker's Bionutrients CoQ10 with L-carnitine. Now, providing support for cardiovascular health is easier than ever before.
CoQ10 and L-carnitine support a healthy heart naturally, as nature intended, and our formulation provides 300% greater absorption of CoQ10 than similar products, using a technology so effective it's patented.
Bioinnovations is the affordable source that you can trust for all your vitamin and supplement needs. Give us a call at 888-442-2128. That's 888-442-2128. Or order online at bioinnovations.net.
We're back, everyone. Okay, Richard, before we get to the phones,
Yes.
Let's talk about how you supplement, how you dose phosphatidylserine. And also, I would like to know if this is something you stay on basically from now till, forever, or how do you know when you need to maybe start and stop
Well,
dosing
as long
with
as it's
it?
helping you, you can continue
Okay.
to take it. A typical dose of phosphatidylserine is 100 milligrams. that can be taken anywhere from 1 to 3 times a day, depending on your need. It is also helpful to combine phosphatidylserine with the other phospholipids. Remember we mentioned the phosphatidylcholine, the phosphatidylethanolamine, these other ones. And understand that our bodies can convert these phospholipids into whatever specific type it needs. You see? So it's a good idea to make a complex of these phospholipids with the phosphatidylserine as the star player, of course. So what you have prepared for us, what you've managed to find for us, is a 500 milligram phospholipid matrix that includes all these different types of phospholipids, including phosphatidylserine at 100 milligrams. But it can convert the phosphatidylethanolamine, for example, into phosphatidylserine through base exchange. I'm trying to avoid the chemistry, but it all helps us to understand. It's been my experience studying this stuff that it's only complicated on the surface. Once you get into it and understand it, it's, oh, well, that kind of makes sense. And that's how God's nature is. Once you get an understanding of it, it has an elegance to it that is simply profound. And it can be very powerful and help us with our health conditions. So, no drug interactions ever been reported with this stuff. Doesn't interact with any medications. It also helps to take your DHA and EPA, say from fish oil, or the alpha-linolenic acid from flaxseed oil, your essential fatty acids. It helps to transport them into the brain and other organs where they can be put to work. No side effects. This is really quite amazing. Phosphatidylserine matrix, a total of 500 milligrams of these various phospholipids, 30 soft gels. I think if you're in relatively good health, one of those a day is enough because you're eating foods. And certainly if you're a meat eater, one would be enough for the day. If you're a vegetarian or you're trying to avoid GMO soy lecithin, you would want to take a little more. Because you don't want this to be the one thing that keeps you from having a sharp mind all the way into your senior and elderly years. Well, our bodies, especially our nervous system, are highly dependent on phospholipids for proper function and prevention of disease. Phosphatidylserine supplementation helps to nourish nerve and brain tissues. Phosphatidylserine helps to counter the symptoms of cognitive decline, dementia, and other neurodegenerative diseases. It helps the kids with ADHD. It helps with extreme exercise and stress. And who doesn't have stress in the modern world? Phosphatidylserine is safe, and it does not interact with any other medicines. There have been a few reports of nausea with extremely high doses, more than you ever take. More than you'd ever take. Don't concern yourself with that. Take it with food for maximum absorption. There you go. That's it on phosphatidylserine.
That's a great presentation. That's very interesting.
It is. It's fascinating stuff.
Well, let's go to the phones and see if maybe somebody out there could be helped with this phospholipid. You want to?
Yeah, let's do.
All right. Let's go to California and welcome William to the show. Hi, William.
Yes, hello, Cindy and Dr. Becker. Nice to meet you. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, it's our pleasure, William. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I love you guys. I really need urgent help. I'm suffering terrible pain, and forgive me if I'm a little slow explaining myself. I just have a lot of terrible pain.
It's all right.
I'm suffering terrible pain, and I need a lot of help. I live alone. A lot of them are uncontrollable, terrible head tension, headaches all the time. It's hard to function, hard to take care of myself. I can't sleep good. I'm tired all the time, no energy, real weak, and it might be my adrenaline and fatigue, somebody told me, and it's hard to get out of bed or even get out of the house. I've been in so much pain. Sometimes I have to lie on the floor because the pain gets so bad, the head and the tiredness. And then I got high blood pressure. I have sciatica nerve damage on my left leg and down my left spine and left leg, left foot. And then unfortunately, I started suffering from all the terrible pain. Finally got to depression, anxiety, and panic attacks. I've been waking up with the uncontrollable body shakes, and then the medicine side effects are killing my body. They're causing more head pain and tiredness and stomach pain, gas, constipation, diarrhea.
William? Do we have a diagnosis? Has the doctor said, well, you have this disease or you have this condition? Have they said that?
The main thing they said is tension, headaches.
Yeah, but that's a symptom. That really is a symptom, isn't it?
And then sleep apnea.
Right.
And then I have high blood pressure. And then I've been diagnosed with the depression and the generalized anxiety. I forgot.
Okay, William, let me ask you a question, William.
Yes.
When was the last time you felt normal, healthy, with vitality and energy? How long ago was that?
Oh, Dr. Becker, it's been quite a few years because I've been been living with these headaches for many years actually probably since I was a child. I felt I'm fortunate that's the longest time that I've felt a little bit better. But even then, I had terrible headaches and I was tired a lot. And,
William, was there an event in your life that turned your health to bad? Was there a car accident, a major operation, a separation, a divorce, anything like that?
Yeah. Just in the last couple of years, there's definitely been a couple of car accidents, and then after getting the depression, I got.
All right.
After getting the headaches, I lost my job, so that got.
Oh, you are under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
William, do you supplement your diet?
I'm trying to get the best. Trying to get advice because it's been. Like they lowered some of the medication, and
so you don't know, you don't supplement your diet, and it's mainly because you don't know what to supplement with.
Yeah, that's true.
I got it. Okay, William. Now, William, stay on the line. William, I want you to stay on the line because we have to go to this commercial break. But when we return, we're going to outline a program. We're going to try to help you, brother. So hang in there. We'll be right back. Have you heard about the health-promoting power of medicinal mushrooms? These remarkable mushrooms include maitake, shiitake, reishi, and ABM. The medicinal mushrooms contain beta-glucans, compounds that promote healthy immune function while helping to coordinate multiple body systems.
BioInnovations brings you Dr. Becker's Bionutrients Mushroom Complex with maitake, shiitake, reishi, and ABM in one convenient product.
Our mushroom complex features the safest and most powerful medicinal mushrooms available, providing natural support for a variety of health conditions.
BioInnovations is the affordable source that you can trust for all your vitamin and supplement needs. So give us a call at 888-442-2128. That's 888-442-2128. Or order online at bioinnovations.net. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings.
I'm Dr. Richard Becker for Your Health at a Glance. More and more people suffer from asthma. One cause is obvious. The world is a polluted place, and the air we breathe is not always healthy. But other causes of asthma aren't as obvious. Recent research connects a poor quality, high sugar diet and the frequent use of antibiotics to higher rates of asthma and cases of asthma that are tougher to treat. A fast food diet does not meet our nutritional needs. Plus, the indiscriminate use of antibiotics can seriously disturb the delicate balance of healthy microbes in our intestinal tract. So switch to a garden fresh diet that calms and prevents asthma. Eat fruit-like veggies such as tomatoes, cucumbers, and eggplant. Eat yogurt, ginger, turmeric, and take fish oil. Nature holds the answer, but it's up to us to make healthy choices. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Dr. Richard Becker. Can you lower your risk of disease? The answer is yes. One way is by including fruit in your diet. Fruit contains valuable nutrients that can reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke, and even some cancers.
We've searched the world and found 4 fruits we believe are among the best. Noni from Polynesia, acai from the Amazon, and 2 new ones, goji and mangosteen.
These 4 juices each have amazing properties that make them great additions to your nutritional plan. If you're a diabetic or have chronic pain, these juices will help you feel better and have more energy. Plus, they help with digestion.
Now you can experience the health-promoting benefits of all 4 in one convenient package we call the Fruits of the World 4-pack. And remember, it's 50% off by the case.
Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings. That number's 888-442-2128. Your Health is brought to you by BioInnovations, trusted products for your health and well-being.
We're back. We've been talking with William from California. He's in his 50s. He struggled with headache, chronic fatigue, depression, hypertension for many, many years. I get the distinct feeling that William has gone from doctor to doctor, test to test, and no one's ever really found anything that will help him. He's been given multiple medicines, and he's in a state of decline, and he's feeling rather quite desperate. And I can understand this. Folks, you might be surprised by William's case, but this is so typical. This is what you see every day in the clinic when you run a holistic clinic and a wellness center. People who come to you to try to grasp their health and vitality, and they're so desperately low, they don't know where to go, and it can be very confusing and disheartening to folks. Well, don't give up hope, William. I think it's very important that you have a doctor test you, your vitamin D level and your magnesium level, because I think what you will find is all those conditions you told me, they're merely symptoms. Depression is a symptom. It's not a disease in the sense of like tuberculosis, okay? It's a symptom because all these conditions you're talking about are the manifestation of an internally a process that's not being addressed. And I think magnesium deficiency and vitamin D deficiency is at the core of all of this. I mean, I can't say proof positive because I haven't tested you, but this is what my clinical experience, with my education, everything is telling me. Vitamin D and magnesium is at the core of everything here. Now, I want to send you some magnesium. I want to send you the chelate to take internally. I want to give you the magnesium gel to rub on your skin. Sometimes we have to give injections of magnesium to really get you out of the low state. I recommend you get it tested so you know. Next is CoQ10. I'm going to give you the little formula that we were talking about to give you energy and then brain and nerve support. CoQ10. L-carnitine, alpha-lipoic acid. These are important. They'll help your enzymes work better. The phosphatidylserine. This could really help you because I know you feel muddle-headed and the dendrites aren't connecting well. The brain function is not what it needs to be. You feel muddle-headed. You feel as though you've lost IQ points. This is very typical in a scenario like this. Phosphatidylserine. Often, one of the core reasons why we're so low in these nutrients is because we have intestinal dysbiosis and our gut is full of yeast. How many antibiotic rounds have you taken? Have you ever taken steroids? You know, when doctors don't know what's wrong, they tend to give antibiotics and steroids. And you know what that does to your vitamin D level? It increases your risk of vitamin D deficiency almost 20 times. Doctors, test vitamin D, test magnesium. Don't just shoot out steroids to people when you don't know what's wrong. I know sometimes you have no choice. You have to do that. I get that. But most of the time, you do have a choice. Also, I want to give you probiotics, and I want you to eat yogurt every day. I want to give you active adult multiple vitamin and mineral because you need a B-complex strong multiple vitamin. 3 milligrams of niacin isn't going to do it. We need higher doses of niacin in these B vitamins to get you out of this funk. Fish oil, curcumin, oil of oregano will help kill off the yeast that I am absolutely certain is complicating your situation. I want to send you Foundations for Healing. Read the entire book. Get the feeling of holistic medicine. Support the brain with the nutrients it needs. Replace your minerals. Correct the dysbiosis. Suppress the yeast, and you're going to start feeling better. But you may feel worse before you feel better. It's called the Herxheimer reaction. I wish I could explain all that. We don't have the time. But you kill off these yeasts, it releases toxins, and it may scare you. Don't let it scare you. Hang strong. Get through it. You're going to find you'll have a better day. Well, Cindy, William is a good example of where phosphatidylserine can help people, help maintain their mental function, and help with the blues from chronic illness. Thank you for your kind of...
Beyond the Game with Tony and JB. Stories that need to be told.
To the outside world, it looked like there was nothing happening. That wasn't true.
It's things like that that happen all the time that the public doesn't know about.
Your body has an expiration date.
I'm in bed the day after my surgery. Brian says, Anthony, when is enough enough?
Beyond the Game with Tony and JB. Stories you won't hear anywhere else.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That changed my life.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. We're soldiers, always ready to